Hello, welcome to the Herbal Intellect Show with your host, Jennifer, owner of Synapti Botanicals and certified master herbalist. Thank you all for joining me this beautiful Saturday afternoon, February 7th, 2015. So we've been working with, at the Newbie Hood Radio Herbal Intellect Show, we've been doing a series on herbs from around the world. And we've been, there are some announcements. We are on live broadcasts on YouTube, or whatever this is, YouTube/Google Plus, whatever it is. We're on that too. So if you want to, be in the studio with us virtually, go online to get into the hangout that we have up there. But anyway, yes, we've been doing a show series on herbs from around the world. We started out with herbs from the Southwest. We talked about a lot of different things: yerba santa, cedarwood. We had two guests on, and big shout out to them, Kanchan and Zappa. We had them on, and we talked about herbs from the Southwest. Then we went to, I guess, maybe Haiti, U.S./Caribbean/African. We talked with Miss Chastity about herbs that are used in voodoo rituals. Then we went to Uganda. No, actually, before that, we went to, we had a juicing show. Oh, yeah, herbs from the Caribbean, mostly just fruits from the Caribbean. And we had Miss Mika on. Shout out to her. And then we went to Uganda, and big shout out to Miss Nakato. We played her interview last week, and she went in on some wonderful information about Ugandan herbs, but just living life in Uganda, and it was a great show. So please listen to that as well. And so last week we went to Chinatown with the Synapti Botanicals Plant Wellness with Plant Medicine workshop. So we went out to Chinatown in Los Angeles, and we picked up a bunch of herbs. We did some a nice little scavenger hunt, finding different herbs, and we're going to go through that today and talk about that. And so today's theme is China, so herbs from China and traditional Chinese medicine. Now we're going to have just a 30-minute show today because I am coming down with something where I'm having this little cough in my throat. So bear with me, and we're going to get through this fairly quickly, but we're going to definitely go into some good information today on Chinese herbs. And there's a little bit of a controversy about garlic that came up on Twitter today. So, actually a few days ago. I don't check my Twitter often enough, but we're going to talk about garlic on the show as well. So please log on to newbiehoodradio.com/blogs to get all of the archive shows there. Marcus is diligently working on getting all those up onto the server, and so that you can go back and listen to our oldest shows. So what else we got going on? About 2 weeks ago now, we also did a workshop on herbs that are good for sexual health, and I want to give a big shout out to all the Inland Empire Black folks in the Inland Empire that came out and supported us, or supported me with Synapti Botanicals with that workshop. Another big shout out to all of the participants for Newbie Hood Radio and our GoFundMe. We did a wonderful job, and I'm very, very happy that everybody got to participate in that. All the actors and actresses. We had a good time. Late at night, tired, out of it, but still doing a great job with the acting. So big shout out to everybody there. And then stay tuned for another Inland Empire California event that we're going to be having with Synapti Botanicals. We're going to go to the Botanical Gardens in Riverside, and hopefully in the springtime, most of the herbs there will be growing and blooming. And so we'll be going there and looking at a lot of the different herbs that are growing right here in California. All right, I think that's the introduction for today. Oh yeah, the next workshop actually is going to be at Shades of Africa, not at the Catch Up Not Just Coffee. So if you're listening and you're in the area for that, please note that there is a location venue change for that. All right, so now we're going to be talking about herbs from China. Now, I've brought a bunch of the herbs that we actually got from Chinatown. And that's why we wanted to do the live feed today, because I'm going to be showing them on the camera for you all to see what they look like. And we're going to talk about each one of them in a little bit of detail. So let's talk about Chinatown for a second. So we went down to Chinatown, and I knew we have gone several times before, so I knew that it's a good idea to have at least a list of Chinese herb names if you're going to be shopping for Chinese herbs. And so that's what I did. So we went out there with the intention of doing a scavenger hunt, where I created these 2 case studies, and I'll read them in a second. These 2 funny little case studies, and then each person had their own case study. Then we ended up working in groups, but it was all good. But each person had a case study, and they also had a list of all of the possible herbs that person could use in their case study, with the Chinese name, the botanical name, which is kind of like the Latin name, scientific name, and a common name, and then information on what that herb is used for. So they had all their tools that they needed, right? And I thought it was funny, we were going down there, and everybody put in a really good effort to find these herbs, because most of the herbs there either have the botanical name or the Chinese name, or they'll have the Chinese characters. That's what I forgot to do, was actually put the Chinese characters on this list, because it was funny. Marcus tried to go up to one of the workers and ask him what this herb was, and the clerk there said, "This is not Chinese." And he's like, "It's just the Chinese, it's a they call it pinyin." Okay, pinyin is when you take the Chinese characters and turn them into the actual letters that we recognize as English, Latin, or Roman, whatever the letters are. So that's what we had. We had that part. We didn't have the actual characters, and he was like, "This is not Chinese. It's not the characters. It's not Chinese." So you have to deal with that. But it was funny, and but they were very, very helpful. Timbo was a wonderful shop. We also went to another shop down in Chinatown that also sells Chinese herbs, and we found some things that weren't at Timbo, so I was very happy with that. But everybody put in a really good effort and had a good time down there, and I'm really glad that we got to do that, have that experience as a team, as a group. And for some people who have never really been to Chinatown or never even seen a lot of these herbs or foods or any of that stuff that come from another country, nevertheless, China. So anyway, let's talk about the case studies. I'm going to read through the case studies real quick. So the first case study was, let's do the not so funny one. And they're not funny. They're silly. Okay, Rhonda T. So Rhonda is a 33-year-old woman who has been battling her digestive issues for as long as she can remember. She had to completely change her diet. She removed meat, dairy, and sugar, but it still wasn't enough. Rhonda had been experiencing excessive and smelly gas, pain in her abdomen, bloating, and constipation. Sometimes she even feels nauseated due to the buildup of gas. She is willing to work. Marcus, and you're laughing. She is willing to work more on her diet, but she realizes she may need a little more help. So her husband recommends a Chinese acupuncturist. The practitioner tells her that her digestion is stagnant, and she suggests a few herbs to relieve her symptoms. Can you guess which ones? So that was the first case study. Now let's go with the second case study. The second case study was Greg. Now Greg, let's just read about Greg. So Greg is a defensive lineman for the 2014 Super Bowl champions. Unfortunately, he's a young man that has been recently diagnosed with high blood pressure. And this was we did this trip to Chinatown on the Super Bowl Sunday. So that's why I put that part in there. And here's a picture of Greg. Hope you can see. Oh, gotta go up. Yeah, there's Greg. Oh, another camera to put it. Okay, all right. There's Greg. Okay. So Greg he has been unfortunately diagnosed with high blood pressure. His weight is a big concern. He's 310 pounds. So he's striving to minimize the large portions of bacon and fried chicken in his diet. I also said cheese sandwiches, but Marcus told me to take that part out. Occasionally, he suffers from angina, which is a severe pain that radiates from the heart to the shoulder. Greg just lost one of his close friends to a heart attack, and he doesn't want the same to happen to him. He went to visit Jennifer at Synapti Botanicals, and after realizing his heart condition was coupled with emotional strain due to grieving, she gave him a heart and arteriosclerosis formula. What herbs were in that formula? Well, so they were handed these different, two different case studies, and one is basically like a digestion, bloating, constipation issue, all in the abdomen, all in that area where a lot of worry and grief and guilt, the root chakra, a lot of those issues are down there, that she has. But Greg, he has more of a heart, also grieving issue. He's very overweight. He has clogged arteries with the arteriosclerosis, and he has hardening of the arteries as well with the arteriosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is clogging of the blood vessels, and I'm sure he has that too. So he has that issue with circulation and a weak heart, and that's definitely not good when you're overweight. So they were armed with, the people in Chinatown that came with us were armed with a trip to Chinatown herbalists. So they were given the herb list, and we're going to go through a few of these on the list. Okay, so the first one is one of my favorites. One of the worst tasting herbs ever, up there with Cascara Sagrada and wormwood, I would say, is ginseng. Gentiana lutea is a beautiful yellow flower herb, but the root is what you would take. It's also called longdang gao. Hope I'm saying that right in Chinese, but it's basically perfect for Miss Rhonda because she has issues with digestion. And so ginseng it stimulates her digestion. It also helps break down fat, which actually, what's his name? Greg could actually use as well. But it definitely stimulates her digestion. If you have stagnant digestion, which is what the acupuncturist told her, then you should definitely try some ginseng. And I have some ginseng. Yay, Marcus found it at Chinatown finally. I haven't even opened it because I just love looking at it. So happy to have it. Okay, hopefully you can see it. I'll hold it up. So this is ginseng root. This is about 2 ounces of the root. I think it was $2 per ounce in Chinatown. So that's ginseng. Hopefully you can all see that on the camera. So definitely Rhonda and Greg could benefit from ginseng. So you would do a decoction with that because it is a root. The next one we have is hawthorn, Crataegus oxycantha. Now, Crataegus oxycantha or hawthorn is one of the best herbs you can take for high blood pressure, from heart disease, coronary disease, any type of problems with your heart or your circulation. Even if you have diabetic retinopathy, because any type of circulation, capillaries, arteries, heart, veins, all that, hawthorn is really good for all of those issues. Is best coupled with garlic, and we'll get to garlic in a minute. But it also helps with resisting that arteriosclerosis, so the hardening of the arteries, it resists that. And it also can help with an angina issue that he has. So the Chinese name for that one is shansa. Shansa. But in Chinatown, they had it very, very, very cheap and, what do you call it? Just a very cheap herb, very affordable. This was $2.99 for this entire bag, and I think this is probably a pound or maybe 2 pounds. But you can see it has the fructus name on there. Um, for Hawthorne. Does not have the actual Chinese name, but the characters are on there, so that's probably what that is. And it's interesting too that the name for Hawthorne, the botanical name, has the oxycantha in it. And it's interesting that they use that name because it provides oxygen. Well, that's what the blood does. The blood, one of the main functions of the blood is to carry oxygen. That's really what we need it for anyway. But it carries oxygen. So, you know, the blood, or the Hawthorne, is really going to help with any blood heart issues. And it's in his name. Okay. All right, so let's get to garlic as the next one. Daswan. That's a Chinese name for garlic, is Allium sativum. It also is going to decrease your blood pressure. Now, garlic has many, many different uses, and it's interesting. You know, oh, there's some people in the chat room, so yeah. Okay, we're going to get to your questions in the chat room in 1 second. If you do have questions in particular, you can just leave them in the chat room. We're not going to take calls because we want to keep this a short show today. But if you do have questions in the chat room, go ahead and put them there. You can also go on Facebook, on Newbiehood Radio's Facebook. You can put questions there, and I'll get to those after the show. But let's talk about garlic really quick here. So on that Sunday after, or that week after we went to Chinatown, I posted a video, and I'll post this, you know, find it on Facebook. It's on my website, Synapti Botanicals. I posted a video of our experience in Chinatown. It was great. Oh, thank you so much for all of y'all who participated in that and did that and videotaped it. And we talked about garlic, and, you know, someone just like was saying, you know, garlic is great. Try it for your heart conditions and blah, 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 blah. And it automatically was posted on Twitter as well. And so someone on Twitter, I don't know if you're listening now, but he said, great video, but garlic is trash. Garlic is not good. Garlic is, he said, it is very high, highly acidic. It's 3.3 on acidic. He said, you know, it burns up your cells, you know, and I was like, ooh, where is this information coming from? Okay, so we're going to talk about garlic here. And I wanted to read a few books on garlic. I mean, there should be a whole book on garlic because it's so wonderful. But basically, garlic is the total opposite of what you said. It is an alkaline food. So if you go to if you go to therbs.com, there's a whole list of alkaline and acidic foods. They tell you exactly which ones are which, and they give you a good information on which ones are good for combining too. Okay, so D, just like dog, D as in dog, therbs.com. And basically, garlic is an antioxidant. It's an alkaline food. It's great for your alkaline diet. If you have something like acid reflux or really bad indigestion, yes, you would probably not need to take garlic. Just like garlic and tomato sauce and like coffee, those things inflame those issues that like acid reflux, right? You don't want to take that stuff. But if you're just a regular person, maybe even, you know, someone who has high cholesterol, eating too many eggs and cheese, garlic will really help bring that down. Okay. Yeah, it decreases blood pressure and cholesterol. It helps you decrease the risk of heart attack and atherosclerosis. It prevents cold. It protects the prostate. It protects the liver. It helps you fight infections and bacterial infections and fungus infections. So garlic is not something that you should stay away from. There's too many good benefits on it. There's over 200 research articles that I looked up on the benefits of just garlic and heart disease. And there's, you know, even more if you add in liver, if you add in, you know, prostate, you know, things like that, or bacterial infections. So, you know, if you have a specific issue where garlic will hurt you, then yes, but normally no. Okay, so that's my spill on garlic. If you have, you know, the person out there who mentioned that, you know, thank you for commenting on it, but please do some more research. Ask me, we can talk more about it. but don't be afraid of garlic. Okay, let's go through a few more on this list. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, okay, we have the prize, the prize herb of China. Ginseng, excuse me. Ginseng. This is red Korean ginseng. I'll hold it up here in the camera. So red Korean ginseng here. So these are slices, very, very, very thin slices of the ginseng. This costs $12. This is $12 per ounce of the red Korean ginseng because it's very, it works on almost every system of your body. We were going to use it for normalizing the blood pressure and balancing digestion. So both Greg and Rhonda could have used ginseng for their in their formulas because it's a very versatile herb. That's one of the reasons why it costs so much, but it also is very hard to come by. It's like a prize of China, I think, and Korea and other Asian countries. But that's like the majority of what the store has. Tembo is ginseng, and different types, different regions. You know, cut, sliced, in bulk, and whole, whole ground up pills. I didn't bring the. They have it in tinctures. They have it in. It's not tincture, but it's like a honey water mixture. You know, all these different things, all these different ways of taking ginseng. It's a wonderful, wonderful herb. If you don't take any other herbs, if you don't believe in anything about herbal medicine, but you want to try something, I would go with ginseng. It's very expensive, but it's worth it. All right, what else do we got here? Oh, this is not on our list. These are shiitake mushrooms and reishi mushrooms. I think reishi was on our list. Nope. Okay. We're not reishi and no shiitake. All right. Well, okay. Well, the last one we'll talk about is eleuthero. Okay, so eleuthero, and I'll talk about a little bit more for Rhonda, but eleuthero is also good for normalizing your blood pressure and helps with that problem with angina that you might have. Excuse me for a second. So what I'm drinking, this is a good learning point here. For my little bit of a cold, itchy throat, I'm doing a lemon and honey tea, but I've added in golden seal as well. So I have a golden seal lemon honey tea, which should help clear up everything. But be careful with golden seal. I had some of my clients taking it a little bit too much. It should only be taken over like a week or maybe 2 weeks at the most, because golden seal actually can decrease your vitamin B. Okay, and it should work fairly well, like 9 times out of 10. So you don't need to take it very long because it does what it's supposed to do. It doesn't taste good, but it does what it's supposed to do. Okay, so back to eleuthero. So it's like I said, it normalizes your blood pressure because it's an adaptogen. So if you have high blood pressure, it'll bring it down. If you have low blood pressure, it brings it to a normal level. Same with blood sugar, same with your anxiety issues. Anything that's out of balance, it'll bring back to a normal state. And that's why I love eleuthero. It is one of my favorite herbs. I would say it's up there with nettle and alfalfa. Yeah, eleuthero is the bomb. Okay, so we asked for eleuthero and in Chinatown. And we told them it was called siwujia. And they were like, we don't know what that is. So we couldn't find it. We went to the other, that was at Timbo. We went to the other herb store and we asked them for it, and they were like, oh, yeah, I think we know what that is. And they went to the back corner of the store and pulled out this. Now, I don't know I don't know what exactly this is, but we got like 2 ounces of it. And this is 2 ounces. This huge entire bag is 2 ounces of this herb. Okay. When I take out a piece, it feels like little prickly, you can even hear it probably. It's very, very hollow. pieces of bark, and they have these little spines on them that are prickly. They don't hurt, but they are little prickly spines. You can kind of see them. You can see in the camera there. But basically, I don't know if this is eleuthero. We kept looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. I was like, maybe it is eleuthero, but it just is like the outer part of the eleuthero root. But now I'm thinking that it's probably not eleuthero because this is eleuthero. What I'm used to having eleuthero as. It's also called Siberian ginseng. So Chinese people should know what this is. This is the eleuthero that I know. Oh, I have a better image of that. Here is eleuthero. It's in this little container here. It's basically like a whitish brown herb. It looks just like, some bark or some little twigs. And so we're not sure what this herb is, unfortunately. But I'm going to find out. But so if anybody knows out there what this herb is, please let me know. But I don't think it's eleuthero. It could be a different strain of eleuthero. But I was pretty sure that there's only one out there, just like there's only one ginkgo, right? So we'll see. All right, well, those are the herbs that I have to show you that were actually on our list. But real quick, there are some other things that they're on the list as well. Plantain, which is really good for soothing your digestive mucous membranes. So for that constipation that she had, it's not a laxative, but it just helps bring back moisture to your mucous membranes. If someone has like a kidney stone or something like that, then they can definitely use plantain. Let's see, Romania is a kidney and water balance tonic type herb. We had some Romania. I forgot to bring that in. Dong Quai, high blood pressure, strengthens the heart. What else for digestion? Oh, cardamom. Cardamom is one of my favorite herbs as well. It smells so wonderful, but it's really good for gas. It prevents bloating, and it helps with digestion as well, especially digesting things that you should not be eating, such as milk. So cardamom is good as well. All right, well, that is our list. If you want to learn more about these herbs, please contact me at Synepti Botanicals. I'm going to post this video up on YouTube for Synepti Botanicals, and it'll be available on New Beauty Radio YouTube page. But please, this is interesting stuff, and we are having fun sharing this with you all. I'm going to go to the chat room and take a few questions, but that's about the end of our show. So next week, we are not going to have a show. We are postponing the show for 1 week, and we'll be back the week after that. And we're going to be talking about Ayurvedic or Indian herbs. And that's probably going to be the last one of our series, Herbs from Around the World. So stay tuned 2 weeks from now for the Herbal Intellect show. We might actually play this show again next week. So if you missed anything, you can go back and listen next week at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's see what's in the chat room. Let's see. Okay, so someone, hopefully they got the feed there and got to see some of the herbs. I'll hold them up again just in case. I know someone who doesn't eat garlic because the smell seeps through their skin. Yes. Do you know why that happens and what can be done to stop the issue? Well, they do have odorless garlic. If you want to get garlic in your system, they do have odorless garlic that comes in a capsule form. Actually, not a capsule, like a gel tab. So the garlic oil or extracted garlic oil is really what you need. Eating the whole garlic is wonderful, great too. But if you just want to go the easy route, taking that odorless garlic gel capsule or gel tab is really good too. So you can find that, and that'll be a better way to get your garlic as well if you're worried about the smell seeping through. Because garlic is so very strong. Like, I want to read real quick this this book here, Fighting Radiation and Chemical Pollutants with Foods, Herbs, and Vitamins by Dr. Schechter. Real quick about garlic. So garlic smells like garlic because of an oil it contains called allicin. The allicin in garlic is in turn contains sulfur, which is known to be a natural antibiotic agent. Onions also contain sulfur and the amino acids cysteine and methionine. Cysteine is a well-documented radioprotectant and antioxidant, and so garlic is an antioxidant as well. It binds with and deactivates both radioactive isotopes and toxic heavy metals like cadmium, lead, and mercury. The sulfur in cysteine helps the kidneys and liver detoxify the body. That's exactly what we were just talking about. Mature dry onions contain about 265 milligrams of sulfur per 3.5 ounces average serving. So garlic has been documented to reduce high blood pressure and blood cholesterol levels, prevent blood clots, reduce fatty deposits that clog the arteries, increase the body's uptake of the B vitamins, and stimulate the pituitary gland according to the Book of Garlic. So there is a book on garlic. So garlic contains at least 2 natural antibiotics that act against some 15 species of harmful bacteria. It also contains the anti-carcinogenic mineral germanium, which stimulates circulation of oxygen in the body. So there you go. That is some information about garlic. Okay. All right. So we're going to wrap up the show today. Kidney stone. Should plantain be taken at the time the stone is trying to pass? Yes. So if you have a history, this will be the last question we're going to wrap up because my throat is starting to itch and I want to be coughing on the air. But if you do have a history of kidney stones or anything like that, you do want to have some plantain, maybe even uva ursi in your regular regimen that you're doing. So, but you also, there's other things in the diet that you should definitely stay away from and change if you have that issue. But yes, taking it on a regular basis, I would say maybe like twice a week, just to, have your body flowing a lot better. But if you do have a kidney stone, you find out you do have one, go ahead and start taking it 3 times a day. Yes, the plantain, uva ursi, and I think artichoke, I can't remember what the other one is right now, but definitely get those in your system on a regular basis for the kidney stones. Okay. All right. I hope that answers everyone's questions. Thank you all for listening today on the Herbal Intellect Show. Yes, we are going to play the Trip from Chinatown video. I'm going to find it real quick so you can all hear that. Computer's acting a little bit slow. Give us 1 second. All right, here we go. Thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for next week's shows. Peace.